What's up, guys? LJ Crypto back with another video. If you like my content, please subscribe, hit the share, like, and comments button, and always know that it is my goal to help you become financially free through the crypto market. So let's get started. So in this video, I want to show something much different than what I usually show on the channel. This is related to coding, coding stuff I've been doing. Nothing financially or investing, but just demonstrating, my journey, learning how to code to become a blockchain developer. So this project isn't necessarily, blockchain, but you still need these type of skills for when you create like dApps, decentralized applications. You have to learn how to make a front end, like something like Uniswap, like a DEX or a crypto marketplace like Coinbase and Gemini and all that. But anyway, so what you see here, this is the very first project that I've taken on in terms of building my front end skills. So somebody that I know from my partner from my hackathon, he sort of introduced to me this website called Front End Mentor, and this is a excellent, very good website when it comes to bettering. Not sure if that's a word, but basically improving your front end skills. So yeah, this is my first project, NFT preview card component. Yeah, so let's get into it. So you have this desktop design, right? And then you have the hover states, right? So when you hover over the numbers, or the, not numbers, but words and picture, then there's a mobile state, mobile design. So basically you hit this button and then they give you documents, pre-documents that help you along the way, like images of this and all of that. So now if we look at my first attempt, yeah, this is my first attempt here. So this looks okay, right? But if we do an inspection, now I'm doing an inspection to decrease the window size of the the tab, this happens. So yeah, basically when you start shrinking the the window, everything just starts falling apart and all that. And this being my first project, I didn't know why this was happening. But basically I had to do something with the constraints in terms of the width of this object here, the NFT card itself. So we go here. Basically, this, it has something to do with this width here. So if I toggle this, mess around with it, it's basically brought back in place. So I mess around with that, and yeah, now it works. And there's some, basically edit the other stuff. And yeah, so let me show the improved version. So you probably didn't really notice, but the time and the ETH logos images look better. Of course this isn't perfect, but you got the white spacing on the picture here. When you hover over these, it turns green, just like this ETH heading, or yeah, heading. And also when you hover over this picture, it turns green, and then you have the eye in the middle. So now you might be wondering, what code is involved. So like it was on the the website where you get the like the code and all that. This is all in HTML and CSS, and there's also JavaScript involved when it comes to making front ends, but this project did not require it. So we look here. This right here is Visual Studio Code, a coding editor. That's what I use to write my code. And yeah, basically this is my code. This is HTML, right? Then it's the CSS that I wrote. CSS is can be a little overwhelming, but yeah. So now for a little bit, without going too much into detail, I'm gonna try to kind of explain my thought process and this my HTML and CSS files. So let me try to explain the code a bit. So I'm gonna hit inspect, right click, hit inspect. So yeah, let's start from the beginning. So the heading is just like the title that you see on the tab itself. Then you can also like add a logo, right? The little logo on the URL or not for the tab. Once again, your tab, and then yeah. So body is everything that you see down here. Then within the body, you have the main, which in this case kind of acts as the body sort of in the way I did it. So let's see. So the container is everything. It's a whole card. Everything is wrapped in this div, right? So div is a HTML element, right? Kind of divs act as boxes, and divs are probably the most useful element that you have that you use in HTML. Anyways, everything is wrapped in this NFT container, and you see class here, which is CSS. So yeah, this div has the class of NFT container for CSS. CSS, is how you basically color things, add font sizes and families, and CSS does a lot of stuff. It basically brings things to life when it comes to front ends. So your NFC container is all of this, right? Everything inside of this, right? And then we go further in, you have this inside NFT, right? And then further in, I made a div for the image container. Alright, inside the image container, you have the image here, right? And then beneath the image, you have the heading, which is the equilibrium whatnot. Equilibrium 3429, that's the NFT name that they have for the project. Then below that's a paragraph. And then after that, kind of another part of the app or the card, have two containers. One container holds the ETH price and all that, and the image, the Ethereum logo. And then on the right side you have the image, right? Time image. Then saying 3 days left. Alright. Then the last part, you have the image of the person, right? Then you have the name of him and all of that. Alright. And let's kind of talk about these hover states. So and I'm also try to talk more about the CSS. But so if we go to my CSS file, you go to something like this, right? So this is for the image that you saw, right? So this colon hover, this allows me, so when you actually hover your mouse over the image, this is what allows it to have that color, right? So once again, if we hover over it, it has that green color, and also for that eye image, say the eye icon is right here. We go to the CSS of that, class name of that. So basically, right, this is the CSS that I did for the eye logo image, right? Yeah, logo, whatever you want to call it. And so the eye is within this image container, right? Um, Basically what I did is I used opacity 0. Opacity 0, basically in this case you won't see, anything. If I were to, undo this, you'll see the image logo. If I take this off, you won't. But basically when you hover over it, right, the opacity becomes 0.5 here. So then you'll be able to see it. So yeah, the eye, because the eye logo should only be seen when you hover over, the image or whatnot. And then, yeah, we have these other hover states, so like this equilibrium, blah blah blah, NFT. So class name for this was NFT name, and yeah, you hover over it, just a hover CSS, change the color and all of that. Yeah, then the same thing will be for this. This the last part. This the last portion I'm talking about. So we go to this image. Alright. So class name for this was person name. Well, the image specifically, the class was person dash image. So we go to that CSS. Yeah, so this is CSS for it. So there's the white part here, right? So basically I did border radius 50%. So border radius, it gives that, basically makes that circle around the image. And border is like the outline of the image, right? And basically I just made it white solid. And that's how I made that white part, the white perimeter or outline of the image. So yeah, I'm not gonna ramble on too much about the code because it'll be a lot explaining. It's really no point in trying to go through every single detail of the code. But yeah, this is the first project I've done. This part you see here, this version of my app, I actually worked on this today. Actually made improvements to it today because when I first of course did this, I wasn't as good as I am now. I've been doing this for maybe a month now. Yeah, at this point I'm a lot better at making these front ends, so I was able to go back and see like the mistakes I made when I first did it. And yeah, basically, well, I will deploy this later, but yeah, basically made a better deployed version of this. But yeah, that's basically this project. This is my first front end that I've made, and yeah, the video. Once again, this is my first project that I made myself in terms of front end. Improving my front end skills. I will make more videos about this, and eventually I will start making videos in terms of dApps and actually bringing in the blockchain aspect of front ends because I am trying to become a blockchain developer. But yeah, once again, if you like my content, please subscribe, hit the share like the comments button, turn on the notification bell whenever I come up with a new video. Check out the description below, and I will see you in the next one.